IVM.
I want to thank Intel for supporting our show. Do you remember last year when we spoke about how the Intel vPro platform is built for business? Well, I'm glad to say we've kicked it up a notch. That's right, Intel is back with a new and improved version of the platform. The new Intel vPro platform lets you do more of what you want and less of what you don't. So it's better for you and for your IT teams, who really are the backbone of keeping your work from home experience easy and enjoyable. I can safely say that the new vPro platform gives you more enterprise efficiency with less constraints. Visit intel.in/morewithvpro, that's VPRO, to discover how you can get more done with less waiting. If you're listening on the IVM Podcast Android app, click the link that's visible to you now.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach Podcast, the bite-sized podcast filled with quick and easy, actionable habits. Remember, great habits create that awesome life. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. And today's fun fact of the day has to do with Mumbai. Did you know that the Bandra Worli Sea Link in Mumbai has used enough cable to go around the circumference of the earth? This was a mega project undertaken in Mumbai. It's India's first 8-lane bridge over the open sea. It was an engineering marvel. The whole design was tested to be aerodynamically sound, as the bridge had to withstand the crazy typhoon winds that Mumbai is subjected to during the monsoons. And when it opened, it was a big relief for Mumbai traffic, as a journey of 60 minutes was reduced to just 10 minutes. In a pothole-infested city, where the roads often feel like you're driving on Mars, the Sea Link was a welcome relief which offered smooth, open, clear roads. People would zip down the road as fast as they possibly could, seeing how fast they could get to the other side. A friend of mine once told me, pointing at one of those zipping cars, he said, "Hey, look at that idiot. He paid 50 rupees as a toll to drive on this beautiful, smooth road with this fantastic view of the sea on the left and on the right. His whole experience is now over in 4 minutes. It's like, I like going slow and enjoying the drive that I've paid for. Make full use of the bridge." I, of course, at that point of time found this entire story so hilarious. But it made me wonder, because I too used to be one of those zipping cars. And in this go-getter world, we're so focused on the destination as the goal. We are so focused on achieving. Unfortunately, that is the way many of us live. If the destination was that all-important thing, imagine going to a music concert. The band or the orchestra would be in a hurry to end the show. The goal would be ending the show, the destination. And as the audience, you would be itching for the show to get over. But that is not the case, is it? We want it to continue. We want that journey to go on and on as much as possible. Listening to your favorite stand-up comic, you feel sad when that show ends because the journey was so much more exciting than the destination, which was the end of the show. In this way, you can break events into the destination-centered events and the journey-centered events. Sometimes the destination is very important. Rushing to a hospital, for example, is very important. But the irony is that there are very few pure destination-centered events. And yet, we treat almost everything we do with the destination in mind. We are artificially creating destinations when the journey is what will actually bring us the happiness and that joy. When I started the podcast, I had this destination of having 150,000 downloads a month. But I realized that I had to fall in love with the journey of researching, writing, and recording. I had to enjoy the journey too, or else I would arrive at my destination feeling very empty. And we, of course, have gone past that number months ago, yet the journey continues because I enjoy the process. And the last hard-hitting example for you is life itself. Imagine if we lived our lives with the destination in mind. Imagine if we lived our lives rushing to the final destination, death. Wouldn't that be such a waste? Wouldn't you want to make the most of the journey? Live as much of it as possible? So your simple habit starts by asking yourself, can this be a journey event? If baking a cake is the event, can you enjoy every moment of that journey? If it is spending time with your loved ones, can you make that even more special? Even if it's a sales target or your business target, The goal, of course, is important. But first ask yourself, can I make this into a journey-oriented event? Don't rush to the end. Take the long way around. Learn, grow, enjoy yourself.
So start these habits and share with us your progress using the hashtag #TheHabitCoach. If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram. You can find lots more information on my website, awesome180.com, or check out different content on my YouTube channel called AWESOME180. That's Awesome180.
I hope you enjoyed that show. I'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Intel, for supporting us. First, right off the bat, want to congratulate Ashdin Doctor on celebrating the 300th episode of The Habit Coach. It's a great show. If you haven't been listening to it, listen to it now. And if you listen to it, you can almost go for an entire year with an episode a day. It's really fun. Do definitely check that out. Arjun Koladi, the head of sales for Spotify in India, was on Advertising is Dead. Do check that out. Really fun show. On Cyrus Says, we had Samit Basu, the author, fantasy author, one of my favorites. Definitely do check that out. It was Utsav Memorial Week this week on the IVM network. He was on Cyrus Says Cock and Bull on Thursday. He was on Litnama and, of course, his own podcast, Postcards from Nowhere. Do check that out. And one last note before we go. IVM Likes is back, and we've been doing a bunch of interesting conversations about different pop culture things that you might want to check out during the pandemic. Do give it a listen. I'm sure you'll enjoy that. And with that, I hope to see you again next week.
Beta, did you know 79% of all scientists in NASA are Indian only?
देखो, इंडिया में टैक्स सिर्फ मिडिल क्लास भरती है. Everyone is just enjoying free यार.
आजकल के youngsters are only interested in partying and enjoying. उनको देश की पड़ी ही नहीं है.
बेटा तुम बस शादी कर लो, उसके बाद तो you can enjoy life like anything.
I will tell you what this country needs. This country needs 15 years of dictatorship. That is the only way to become a superpower. See the Chinese, how much they've progressed.
सुनो, तुमने ये WhatsApp forward देखा?
So what's common between all of these statements?
They're all absolutely rubbish.
Fake WhatsApp forwards that spread like wildfire.
And statements that defy any logic.
We are here to debunk them all.
Way of family WhatsApp groups, worst nightmare. Where what happens when you read a book.
Basically, we're just a bunch of guys who want to cut through the bullshit of everyone saying this, how it won't be true.
So that the next time someone confidently squeezes out some WhatsApp or Twitter BS, you can look them dead in the eye and go, Uncle, please sit.
So join me, Joel,
and me, Tushar,
every Mondays for a fresh new episode of Uncle, Please Sit.